it's still a great learner for us, and a great chance for us to see two guys who are generally very attacking-minded players adapt to a situation, play in still probably bowler-friendly conditions, and find a way to build a very strong partnership. Bat for a period of time, put Indian bowlers under pressure, and build a strong score. So from that point of view, we have to learn from that, look at how we can individually tailor our games to play in a similar sort of manner, and be more adaptable when it is difficult.
What do you say to them after a game like this? Obviously, with the criticism that you're still 2-1.
Yeah, we're definitely in the driving seat as far as the series goes. We have to keep remembering that we have got a little bit of time now to go away, reflect on what's been a difficult week. But in England, we are a very good side at bouncing back from a tough couple of days. And one thing you can never question about this group of players is the character and the way that they can respond to a difficult period or passage of play. So I'm fully expecting the guys to come back to Southampton refreshed, ready to go, and hopefully take an opportunity where we can wrap the series up.
What was said on Sunday evening between the players after that collapse?
I think we sat down and spoke quite honestly about how we're going to get this right. It's happened on a couple of occasions. It's obviously not good enough in this format, and for the group of players that we got, it's well below par on what we're capable of doing, even if it is bowler-friendly conditions. So reverted back to a few things that have worked extremely well for us in the past, and we now have to carry that forward and do it for long periods of time.
Is that a conversation that was led by you? What was the atmosphere like in the dressing room?
Well, that's for us to stay within house, but ultimately it's obviously something that's ongoing and we want to keep getting better at. And it's as with every department within the game, you're looking at ways to get better, and this has obviously come to light with the way we've played on this occasion, but it's always at the forefront of our mind. Making big first innings scores in Test match cricket is crucial, and we have to get that right very quickly.
Gentleman at the front, John.
Yeah, it's been a great week for Moeen. It's a shame it's against Yorkshire, but he's a fine player, and what you want to see is guys on the periphery of the side really pushing for a place, and that's a really good sign for this group of players. A strong squad always leads to a really strong team, and it's great to see him putting in performances and pushing for his place. I think we have to be quite realistic about the surfaces we've been playing on. Throughout the whole summer, it's been very much tailored around seam bowling, and we've had some very bowler-friendly conditions. A lot of cloud cover, seamed around quite a lot, and it's obviously swung as well. And probably the hardest point to bat is opening up. He's a world-class performer. He's proven that time and time again. And actually quite like you to write him off, because every time he's written off, he comes back and scores a double hundred. But I think we have to be realistic about these things. You look at both sides, both sets of top order have struggled, and it might be that's the case again in Southampton. That the only thing that you can do is try and find ways of counteracting that and find a way to adapt your game to perform well and score runs in these conditions. There's no one with more experience currently in Test cricket than him, so I'm sure he'll be calling upon all of that going into that game and giving himself the best chance.
So if he gets selected, ask your opinion, you would actually endorse him staying inside?
100%, yeah.
Just on as you mentioned,
Bailey, is that an issue? Do you know?
I don't think the due date's for a while yet. Obviously, there's not an exact science behind these things, so working out when that's going to come, we'll have to play things slightly by ear. But as far as I'm aware, he's going to be available for selection.
Joe, obviously the Ashes is next summer. When you look at Alistair, do you see someone whose passion is still there and could go through for another year?
Yeah, I do. Ultimately, you'd have to speak to him about that. There's always, I suppose, you never really know what someone's thinking if you're being brutally honest about things. But you watch him apply himself in training and go about his practice within the mornings of every game. The way he speaks on the field, the way he speaks to the batters around the group and offers out his experience. It doesn't look like someone that's thinking about jacking it in. He seems very much dedicated to helping this team and to scoring as many runs and giving himself the best chance to do that.
Joe, can you just give us an update on Johnny Bairstow and on his fitness? And also, if he was able to potentially play as a specialist batsman but not keep wicket, would that make Josh Buckley or would you keep him for Southampton? Is that the current thinking?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's very early days in terms of it was a small fracture at the top of his finger. We'll have to see how that settles down over time. We have got a bit of time till that next game, so we can assess that later down the line. He's obviously world-class batter in good form, and of course would warrant his place within the side as a batter. In terms of keeping it, we are very fortunate to have Joss in the team already, and it would make things very easy in terms of him stepping into that role.
And can I just ask about your own form, because you've got a couple of hundreds in one day, but normally even when you're not scoring big runs, you still look great at the crease. But it's fair to say that might not have been the case at Trent Bridge. Where do you think your game's at?
Yeah, I mean, it's one game. Look at the rest of the series. Felt like I got a ball that kept quite low and nipped back sharply at Lords, and there's a chuck a run out in there as well. When I felt great at Edgbaston, it's very easy to actually look at the figures in a short space of time. I feel that I know what I'm capable of doing. I don't feel as if I'm Bambi on ice or anything, and I'm determined to get things right at Southampton. But ultimately, you've got to earn the right. You've got to get in and lay a platform to then go and make big scores. So again, you chuck that into some difficult conditions and an Indian side that's performed very well this week. If you're quite realistic about things, which I try to be, I don't think I'm far away from making big scores.
Dean and Johnson?
Just on the batting, there has been a trend worldwide of deep-sitting averages across the board. Is there actually a case that new normal in Test cricket actually is a slight advantage for bowlers rather than batsmen than what we're seeing from England, perhaps as a reflection of that?
I think it's certainly the case this English summer. I can't really speak for everywhere else around the world. I've not paid really close attention to the goings on with the amount of cricket we've been playing, but you've definitely seen that be the case here. With the floodlights coming into it a bit more, I think just the nature of these three games as well, there has been a lot of overcast conditions. It has got quite dark, and it does dramatically change the complexion of the game when that happens. So there's a number of different factors which come into it, but ultimately you look at whenever one-day cricket's changed, two new balls, whatever it is, players find a way to adapt, and it might be that it's difficult now, but the best players always find a way to score runs. And you look at someone like Virat, who is obviously at the top of his game at the moment, and he has managed to do that. Again, it's another good lesson for us to learn and to take from going to Southampton, that if you have a strong method and you really trust it, you can succeed against high quality bowling in these conditions.
Paul Farway mentioned it yesterday. You touched on it a couple of days ago. You touched on it there, learning from Virat, from yourself personally, as a captain going up against him, the team's best batsman and so on. Are you learning things from watching him and seeing how he's gone about both captaincy and the batting in particular this series?
Yeah, you're always looking to learn across the board, not just at individual players. He's played extremely well. He's been very disciplined in terms of, it's clear what he's trying to do and how he's trying to score his runs, and it's impressive to see how he's managed to do that for long periods of time in very difficult circumstances. But I suppose the art of the art of learning is managing to adapt that to the way you play, and not trying to copy exactly how someone else goes about things. So I suppose if personally I can do that, and other guys as well around our team can take pockets of the way he's gone about it and apply it to the way they play, then great. But ultimately it's about finding the best version of yourself and being really confident with that, and then going out and trusting it, as you saw Josh do.
Last one, John.
Sorry.
You talked about things that, since you've been in charge, maybe even longer, and you've tried different personnel in the top order, you sort of try to tweak things. At what point does it become more fundamental underlying problem, whether it's the mentality, whether it's the coaching, whether it's at what point do you just sort of break it down to what we've been doing isn't working?
Well, you're always searching for that magic answer, I suppose, which there is no exact science in this format. There's no right or wrong way of doing things. You watch someone like Steve Smith's bat and it's completely different to Virat Kohli or Alistair Cook. They're all world-class players and they all have their own way of doing it. And the secret is managing to collectively as a group be very strong individually about how you go about things and develop a partnership out in the middle. And it can only take one moment or one partnership where two guys bat for a length of time and it can breed confidence within the changing room. Now we've got to discover that quite quickly. That has to happen at Southampton, ideally very early on, and two people take the game by the scruff of the neck, take the responsibility and go and do that. And that's I suppose the challenge for our top order is to someone stand up, drag a couple of players with them and make a really big contribution, as the middle order did in that second innings. And if we can do that, then we'll give ourselves a really good chance of winning the series in Southampton.
Okay, thank you.